Hello, my name is Kenley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm today at the Anti-Bullying Institute in Riverside, California. I'm speaking to you today about cyberbullying. There's some really important information about how to protect your children, how to intervene, whether it's with a cyberbully or a cyber victim, and most importantly, how to prevent cyberbullying. Of abuse and trauma, I've always remained sensitive to the bullying issue. However, it wasn't until 2006 that I started hearing about cyberbullying. There was cyberbullying in the news popping up around 2006, and I don't want to minimize any of those cases. However, three that caught my attention. One case of Megan Meyer was a beautiful almost 14-year-old girl, and she was not really good about herself. Her esteem was not really good. She had struggled with some weight issues during her life. However, she started to lose some weight and started to feel better, and then a young lady befriended her through one of the social networking sites. This just raised her esteem and her worth, and even parents saw a difference in Megan. When the friendship continued, and Megan had never met him online. She was so excited and so happy. And again, parents could see a change in her. Weeks, the boy said that he didn't want to be friends with her anymore and started saying some demeaning and kind things to her on the social networking site. Megan was very upset and very depressed, and then he started sharing out some things about her that just weren't true. Megan ended up taking her own life because of the cyberbullying. Megan found out that there was no person, there was no boy on the end of the social networking site, but a mother of a former friend of Megan's had taken on the false persona of a boy who was feigning liking her. And that caused that to hit the media. Somebody would anonymously take on the false persona and pretend to like someone else, and then harm them with social networking sites. I'm busy with my practice and working on other projects, but I kind of in the back of my mind, it was on my radar about cyberbullying. I did a little bit of initial investigation. There were news, but then the Phoebe Prince's case in 2010 caught my attention. She was a 18-year-old girl who had moved to this country, the United States, from Ireland, bullied and then cyberbullied horrifically, and Phoebe too, taking her own life. The thing, aside from the tragedy of losing her life, is that on her memorial Facebook page that her parents put up, young other folks on and said degrading, disgusting things about her on her memorial Facebook page. It was sad that her parents had to take it down. And then of Tyler Clemente, also in 2010, a heartbreaking case. A friend at Rutgers University, a gig violinist, a young man, who secret videotaped him having intimate relations with a partner to his family or to his friends. And he waited after this information was shared on the social networking sites that he too took his life. Asking myself, as I had been for some time, what on earth is going on with the human condition that people and adults can so easily harm another human being? What I did in around 2009 and 2010 is spend a year doing as much research as I could, tapping experts, pulling news from over a dozen countries, and learning out everything that I could on the subject of cyberbullying. And at the end of that year, and I looked at all my research and analyzing, I remember defaulting back to a behavioral principle I often think about when I'm trying to figure out why something is going on, when I'm frustrated with how humans are responding to one another. The behavioral principle is this: the access or exposure to or assumption of anything is subject to the degree of consequence, either positive or negative. Let me say that again. The degree of access or exposure to or consumption of anything is the degree of consequence, either positive or negative. Let me down just a little bit. It's about our exposure to the sparkling sunshine. Think about our exposure to a super smoggy day. If we think about our consumption of coffee, and now even our consumption of kale. I heard recently that we can actually have too much kale. It's about our degree of access to healthcare treatment, and now our degree of access to technology. We have access, exposure to, or consumption of is of the degree of consequence, positive or negative. And as that behavioral principle and other social maladaptive behaviors, I also reminded that there was not going to be one solution to social maladaptive behavior, nor going to be one person or one group responsible for fixing it. Today we're going to talk about triaging cyberbullying, protection, intervention, and prevention. Before we get started, I want to just go over a couple of things so that we're all on the same page. First, to look at a definition of cyberbullying. Bullying is willful and repeated harm inflicted through the use of computers, cell phones, and other electronic devices. I draw your attention to those words: willful, repeated harm, and sometimes it's a surprise to folks that it's through any kind of electronic device. Are similar from some other experts in the field, cyber aggressive intent act carried by a group or individual using electronic forms of contact repeatedly and over time, a victim who cannot easily defend him or herself. Again, the word being aggressive, intentional, and any form of electronic contact. Just as we get started talking about cyberbullying, one is that there's a lot of synonyms for cyberbullying. A very synonym is cyber harassment, but so many others like e-bullying, telling, bullying, and the words like social combating and social cruelty. Types of cyberbullying, different kinds of cyberbullying. This is important. And or a lower level of cyberbullying, we have exclusion. However, I want to say a couple of things about exclusion. It is important. When a child is excluded from a sleepover or a party or meeting up at the mall or at lunch, we tend to minimize that. And we really pay attention to it because that child is hurting, that they're left out and excluded. And just as importantly, exclusion, even a level of cyberbullying, if we don't pay attention to it and intervene right then and there, it tends to escalate. Other cyberbullying are fighting or fleeing online, trickery, like in the case of Megan Meyer, who was tricking Megan into thinking that there was a boy on the other end. Outing is another form of cyberbullying, like in the Tyler Clementi case. Any other just dehumanizing and degrading comments. Although some very serious illegal forms of cyberbullying, like sextortion and porn. To traditional bullying, or what we refer to as regular bullying, is that we know there's very heavy crossover between an individual who's involved in cyberbullying and also traditional bullying. They cross over with cyber victimization, intentional victimization, and roles there's heavy crossover. That's important because oftentimes when we're talking to an individual, we want to make sure that we understand what roles that they're participating in or they're victims of. Most, if not all, developed countries have a problem with cyberbullying. There's even as far as socioeconomic, racial, and gender. However, two exceptions. We know, and the research is consistent, that our special needs populations and LGBTQ communities are highly targeted. So as we get started today, I want to just say that we're going to talk about protection in just a few minutes, so stay with us. There's lots more important information to come.